Hello friends, welcome back. This is Dawn from Chicken Run Creations, and we are continuing our Nativity series, and today we are going to work on the manger. So if you missed our other videos, you saw where we made Joseph and Mary, and then also baby Jesus, and we made a little blanket for him. And so today we're going to work on the manger. So we're going to put them aside. We need to keep Jesus close by so we can make sure we have the right size. I am not doing a wooden manger. I'm going to do a stone manger because that's what the mangers really were back in Bible times. So I have here some Corriedale Fog from Cupid Falls Farm that I thought would make a good stone color. And then I have, this might be from my kit, I'm not sure, but I have this golden yellow to make some straw with. So we want the manger to be big enough so that baby Jesus can lay in it, so we're going to keep him handy. And I don't think I'm gonna do it in core. I think I'll just do it with this and not use some core. So I'm just going to get started here, and I'm just going to pull off a hunk of this, and you'll have to excuse me, I'm a little on the congested side this morning, so hopefully I won't get coughing or anything. So I have my multi-tool here, Clover multi-tool with 240 spiral in them, and then I have a 36 triangle and a 38 triangle and a 42 triangle. So we're going to start, let me think here. I think I'm going to start by making a ball. You know what, actually maybe we will use some core wool. Let's see, I got some here. Only because I just hate wasting my top coats. So we're gonna make maybe instead of making a ball, maybe we'll do a cylinder. Let me see here. Is that gonna be long enough? I might need to go a little bit longer. Move these out of the way. Let me get another piece here. Let's see, that's a little bit wider, because I can always narrow it down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually, let me put a piece down the middle here, because I'm tucking the sides in a little bit, and it's going to make it kind of thin in the middle. See, as you make it up as you go, you never know what's going to happen. So I'm just going to roll and tuck in the edges a little bit here, and I think that might be a good size. So I looked up some pictures of some mangers, and basically they were a rock that was hollowed out on the top to hold the hay or grain or whatever they were feeding the animals at the time. So I think that's what we're going to go with. And I want it big enough for Jesus to fit in, and I want it to be, I think I want it to be a little bit taller than that. So let's get some more here. I don't want to go too wide. Let me get some more core pulled off here. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Needs to be wide enough for Jesus to fit into, so we can definitely go a little bit wider than that. Now this piece isn't quite as wide, so I'm just going to kind of roll it back and forth here. Yep, he's getting stuck. Let's see. We'll kind of tack this down a little bit and see where we're at. I'm going to tuck in my ends here a little bit. So I'm using the 36 triangle. It's a good needle to use when you're just starting out and you got really poofy wool here. So I'm just kind of, now I'm going to square this up. So like right now it's very much a barrel shape, but we will square it up. And so to do that, I'm just going to go down one side and start to kind of flatten it out. And you can do it from the top too. So instead of like when we do something round, we want to keep turning it. In this case, we want to keep it flat, so we're going to just keep going on one side. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. We're definitely going to want to add to this. Then I'm going to turn it this way. And then on the other side. So you can see it's starting to be more flat on the edges, on the sides rather. Okay, so you can see it's starting to take shape. I'm gonna get my, this has 2/38, I believe. So I'm just gonna kind of work this a little bit, just turning it and working down the sides. Now let me see. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, so it's still really rough right now, but I think, let me just get, oh, I think that'll work. So what I think I'm going to do is I want to firm these in a little bit more on the ends. And then what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take, do I want to do it with this? I'm going to take some more core here. Oh, this roll is a mess. Just pull some off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some rolls to put around here to kind of, instead of trying to stab this inside, because I think this height is good, I want to build up around the outside. So before I do that, let me make this a little more solid and see if I might need to add a little bit more to it. I think my middle is a little bit more poofy than the outside, but that's okay because a rock wouldn't be perfectly formed anyway. I think I can push these down a little bit more, which will help add to the bulk on the ends. Okay. So I'm going to make the bottom quite flat because I don't want it to roll. I'm not quite so concerned about the rest of it because, like I said, the chances are of a rock being perfectly rectangular probably wouldn't happen, but we're not going for absolute authenticity here either, so I just want to make sure that it's gonna lay flat. Jesus on there. I think that's a good height. Okay. It can be squished down a little bit more here. All right. So we'll make this the top. So now I'm going to take some more core here. And what I want to do is like just make like a little bumper, I guess you could call it. I'm not going to go too big here. Let me kind of spread this out a little bit so it's a little more evenly distributed. So I'm not going to use all of this because I don't want it to get too big. So let's try that. And I want these kind of flat. I don't want them rounded too much. So I'm not sure if I will get I'm hoping I can get a video up next week. The following week, I'm not sure if I will or not. Here in the States, it's Thanksgiving and we have some family stuff planned, so I may not get one up that week. We'll see. All right, I think that might work. Let me do another one for the other side. Kind of make sure they're about the same thicknesses. So I'm just rolling it up here. We can just take the rest of it. Maybe we'll get the Nativity finished by Christmas. I have a snowman class. If you have seen my snowman video, I have a class to do them at my library next weekend. And then I don't know if I will be doing any more classes in person until after the holidays. It's just really busy this time of year. I still have presents that I need to make, which I'm not sure what I'm making yet. I'm gonna just kind of move my camera here a little bit. Bear with me. Whoops. Jumping needles. Okay. So we have those and Jesus in the middle. I think that's going to work. All right, so I'm going to kind of attach these. And I'm going to kind of go on the side a little bit. This will all get covered over with the gray. So I'm just You can see I'm just down just a little bit on the side to attach it. I'm not worrying about the ends because I still have to do still have to go around, and I figure I can use the extra bits on the side here if I need to. So I'm just attaching it. Make sure this stays flat. Let's do the other side here again, just down, excuse me, a little bit down the side. All right. Okay, I think that'll work. Now let's see. I can just bring them around. If I have enough here, I think I'll have to add some more. All right, let me make a couple small ones for the end. I think it might be time to change out some of my needles. We've had that question in our needle felting group about how often you should change your needles. And it comes down to personal preference, really, but the longer you felt, the more you will see when your needles just aren't working the same way. And at that point, it's probably a good idea to switch them out. So I'm going to kind of wrap this around the end here, maybe. So on my Facebook group and page, I posted a picture the other day of the donkey. I'm doing a prototype of our donkey, which will hopefully be our next video, and how it was looking really rough. And I thought I would mention here too, if you're new to felting, one thing to keep in mind is your object is probably going to look worse before it looks better. There are so many times, especially when you're at this stage here where you're just working with your core wool and you're working on shaping and stuff, that you just look at it and think there is absolutely no way that this is going to turn into the object that I want it to be. And I tell my students this all the time too, that you're just going to look at it and think, yeah, there's absolutely no way this is going to turn into what I want it to be. However, don't give up. Just keep plugging at it, keep working it, and you will be surprised how all of a sudden it starts to take shape, especially once you start to put your top coat on. All of a sudden it'll be like, oh wow, this is actually looking like I want it to look. So don't give up. There's many times that I wanted to throw in the towel with something that I was making because it just looked absolutely horrendous. And the more I worked it, I mean, there are times, yes, there are times where it was horrendous and I had to discard it. Or if you watched my fox videos that I did, my first fox, he's rather large and doesn't quite fit his body. But you know, I learned from that, so then the second one that I made turned out a whole lot better. But most of the time, by working, in fact, the donkey that I'm working on, his body was too long, and the more I looked at it, the more I didn't like it. So I ended up cutting him in half, and even with the armature inside, I was able to cut it in half. And by doing that, I was able to kind of trim off some pieces and make it shorter, and I think it looks a whole lot better now. So I kind of have now a size to go by when we actually try and attempt it on film. So what I'm doing is I'm just working on kind of compacting these edges a little bit more. Again, we're gonna cover this all, so make sure it's gonna sit. Let's see, how's Jesus looking at? Okay. I want to have room to make, I want to have room for the hay too, so I had to keep that in mind as I'm making it here. Okay. The ends look wonky, but once we start to cover them with the gray, it'll kind of work its way out. It'll smooth it, is what I'm trying to say. My brain is going in about 20 different directions this morning because I just was asked to do a video for an online felting supply company for a workshop that they're doing the end of January. So my mind is on that. Plus I was asked if I would consider doing another place locally, do classes. So I'm waiting for them to call me back on that, and I'm trying to think through Christmas, and yeah, my brain is just going in, 20 different directions at once. Okay. So I think maybe that will work. Hopefully I can fit some hay in there. All right, I'm going to start covering it with my gray. So I'm just going to take some pieces off and lay them in and just start to felt them down. So I'm going to probably speed this part up and see how we get with this, but you can kind of see where I'm going here. I think I'll take and wrap this around this way. So I'm going to cover it all, and then I'm going to firm it down. So I'll just speed that up for you to watch, and if anything comes up as I'm doing this, I'll pop on and let you know what my thoughts are and stuff. But it'll probably take me a good 15-30 minutes to cover this and get it felted down. So I'll be back once this is done, and we will continue on with our hay. Okay. All right, so I can definitely go around this and do a lot more firming with my 42 triangle here. But for time's sake, we're gonna leave that as is. Jesus fits in there just fine. And let's see how we're gonna make some hay here. I think, let me get this out. So I think I'm just gonna kind of like make a mat of this. So I'm just gonna kind of lay it on here first so I can kind of figure out how much I want to use. And then I think what I'll do is I'll use my multi-tool and stab in the middle. Or do I want to just, I'm trying to decide if I want to just attach it right to here. Well, to start, I'm going to, I think I'll just like lay the ends over like this, use my multi-tool with my 5 needles and stab in the middle. I could like add like some browns and that to this, which I might do. I have some here. It's kind of bright. So let me, to start, let me just work this in the center here. Be careful when you're pulling it off because it's quite thin. I don't want it to get really thick because then I'll lose my indentation in my rock. I kind of want to leave the edges kind of fluffy so it looks like hay. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so maybe I will just attach it right. I debated about leaving it unattached, but I think I will at least in the middle here attach it down. And then I'll just kind of, just to kind of drape it over. Because I don't want to lose the fluffy bits, so let's, I mean, ideally, I probably should like tighten all this up first before I attach the hay. But since this is just for me, I'm not too concerned about it. If this were something that I were selling, then I would definitely take, you know, a lot more time and felt it down really well. But I can still kind of get in there, I think. But for time's sake. Okay. So now, let me just see. So I can put the blanket in there if I want to. And then lay Jesus on top. Turn the blanket over where it's not so red. I could potentially attach the blanket in there as well, but I don't think I will. I was thinking about kind of folding these edges over a little bit. But what do you think? Does that work? All right, let me just put Mary and Joseph up here. Whoa, falling baby. Falling Joseph. So I think it might be a little tall, but I don't know, you can't really tell from there. I'll take a picture of it. But I think that works. What are your thoughts? Do you like that? I definitely could kind of add a little bit more color to the hay, but I think I like that. So there, I think we're done. I will take a picture of it straight on for you and attach it here. But that didn't take quite so long as I thought it would. And like I said, you know, definitely I would, I'll go through and kind of firm this up a little bit more. So maybe I'll wait and take the picture once I have it really firmed up better. But I think I like how that came out. So let me know what your thoughts are on our little manger. Hopefully next time I will be able to do the donkey. I'll give you a sneak peek here of how he's looking. He doesn't have his head here yet, just kind of a base, so I gotta put the muzzle on and stuff, but there's our donkey. And it's a good thing that I did use core wool for this, because this is all the gray that I have left from what was in that bag, so I'm glad that I used the core. So I'm not sure. I was gonna maybe use that on my donkey, but I'm not sure what color I use on the donkey. This one's kind of a brownish color. So anyway, so that's our manger. Let me know what you think in the comments, how you like it. If you make yourself a nativity, please hop on over to Needle Felting Tutorials and Instructions. There's a link down below, and on Facebook, and share your make with us over there. It's a pretty big group and lots happening over there, so pop on over, say hi, let me know that you saw me on YouTube, found the link from YouTube, and please share your links. I like to see how other people use my videos for inspiration to make their own projects. So anyway, I think that'll do it for this video. Hopefully, I'm at 47 minutes, so hopefully with the speeding up, it'll be kind of shorter. So thanks for watching. Please take a minute and subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video and pop a comment down below. I'd love to hear your comments and suggestions and whatever else. So until next week, hopefully I can get a video up next week with our donkey make, or at least part of it. Or maybe we'll do the angel, I'm not sure which. So, but anyway, check back next week, see what we got going, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.